Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is First Principles and my name is Zaid. So the insight that I wanted to share with you guys today is somewhat related to an incident that happened with me yesterday. So there was some issue that I was facing which got me into a self reflection mode, and I was actually thinking about this problem on a very deep level after I was able to do some firefighting and get this issue resolved, because this issue has been recurring on a almost like a monthly basis or a fortnightly basis. It made me think that how do I resolve this particular issue. So that is when I realized that any problem, any issue, the ultimate reason behind that is insecurity somewhere, right? So let's say if you're facing an issue at home, or you're facing an issue with your boss or your office colleague or your peer or your friends, if you dig really deep down, ultimately either you have an insecurity issue with them or they are insecure with you. How do you tackle this? I realized after, dodging problems, after not confronting my issues, I actually realized that if you are taking a decision from a vantage point of fear and insecurity, you will never be able to take the right decision. Because let's say if you have an issue with your peer or your colleague, you were going set on your path. Now, because you have an issue or you probably have an insecurity, that issue might not even be there, right? Now you have drifted, you have changed track, you've changed direction just to not see that person or not deal with that person anymore. You have automatically, from that moment when you decide, you have already drifted, and the result that you had initially set out to fetch for, you are not going to get that result, right? You might be thinking right now that this is the direction, but ultimately I'm going to get that result. It's not going to be the same, right? If there are 10 steps involved, you need to go through those 10 steps. You can't skip and dodge and jump and get the same result. It is going to be somewhat different, but we think out of our comfort zone. So the decision or the path that you're choosing, it has to be taken from a vantage point of power, never from a vantage point of fear and insecurity. You are not never going to get the result that you ultimately wanted. So that is very insightful that I thought, because majorly where we falter is we get insecure, and ultimately I just feel that our insecurities and our fears are never real. Majorly they are never real, because they bother us so much more than the real trouble that is going to be there in our life. They make us worry so much, they make us think in those directions that those problems are never going to be even coming to us. We are just having imagining those problems in our lives. Yes, there are certain fears, there are certain instincts of a person that might be true, but ultimately it doesn't really come out to be 100% the way you are thinking. And you have already changed course, changed track just to dodge that, and you have basically done wrong to yourself. So the best possible way here is not to worry too much, I feel. Think from a power perspective. Don't think yourself to be too weak, like we think at times, and we try to defend ourselves from any kind of potential attack that might come to us, which ultimately doesn't. Think from a vantage point of power, and I think you should be good, and you should be able to achieve what you had earlier set out to achieve. This is First Principles. My name is Zaid, and thank you for tuning in.